How's it going, Scrub Gamers? It's your boy Scrub Games coming at you with a juicy new piece of content for you to enjoy. But before we do get into the topic of the video, I just want to let you know how you can help support the channel, and that is by checking out Firestorm Games using my affiliate link in the description box below. Because Firestorm Games offer a whole host of products for almost every kind of hobby there is, be it Dragon Ball Super, Pokemon, One Piece, you name it, and they'll likely have it, and at some quality prices too. So just make sure to click the link below and check them out to see the whole host of products they offer while helping support the channel. And also, remember, there's another way to help out the channel, and that's by dropping a like, leaving a comment on the video, and best of all, hitting that subscribe button to keep up to date with my content when it drops. Because I'm still on the road to 1k subs and looking to hit that by the year's end. But now we've got all that sorted, let's dive into the topic of the video. Right guys, so as we've seen from the topic of the video, we're going over the last of the set 22 decks, because we've gone through all the ones in the actual set, but there is also alongside the set a starter deck as well, which got support from within, which is the Black Vegito Deck. So as you've seen, I'm a big fan of Vegito. Vegito's a pretty cool character in my eyes. I love both the fusions. Both the fusions are really cool. And this is a new Vegito deck. Then it's, as people might, I know people assumed it was going to be like Zeno one. Like I expected there to be a Black Vegito, Vegito Xeno deck, because the whole banning of the 6-drop from the Gogeta Zeno deck seemed like it was because in future we're going to get the a Vegito Zeno deck and then that card was basically one that can Union Fuse it in, swing, bring out 2 1-drops, swing with those, and then evolve on Union Patar on top of it. That's what the whole assumption was, that it was going to be that kind of thing to make it busted, and it was just never a shit excuse for Bandai to give a shit reason by Bandai be why they're banning it, not just because they wanted to reduce the power of Gogeta Zeno. They just made up some shit reason, and we did get a Vegito deck from the Dragon Ball superheroes, because that's what Black is kind of focused on for the since set 10, since the Zenkai, no, not Zenkai, the Unison Warrior series started. Black has been focused more on the, well, not more focused, actually all focused on Dragon Ball superheroes. So for the they have 4 colors: red, blue, green, yellow. They've been just focused about different things from Dragon Ball, being Dragon Ball, Super, Z, GT, and some of the movies as well. Whereas Black has been solely mainly focused since the start of the Unison Warrior series as Dragon Ball superheroes themed. So, and it's another one, but instead of being a Zeno one, it's just based on the normal Goku Vegeta from the Prison Planet. So this one's not a Zeno, which is what I think threw some people off when they saw it, because normally you expect to see Black with Zeno, but then this is just normal Goku Vegeta. So we'll get into this as we normally have. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It greatly helps the channel. Much appreciated as well. And let's have a look at this starter deck. So we start off on the front side, as we've seen with the blue one, the blue Gogeta deck. In set one, they start off as both, well, they go from the fusion materials into the fusion as they get to final stages of the leader. And with this one on the front is the same. It's a Goku and Vegeta. And it's got 2 skills. It's got his Awaken, and it's got Activate Main. So the Activate Main is once per turn. Look at the top 5 cards look at the 5 cards from the top of your deck. Add it to 1 Black Saiyan card with entry cost of 6 or less from to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. So that's really nice. So once again, we've seen this is a nice thing where if you're going first, is kind of problematic if you're well, not too problematic, but it's a little bit of a disadvantage in that if you need to attack the draw card, you can't do it on your first turn. So if you start the game and you're going first at your first turn and you need to attack with your leader draw 1, you don't get that draw. But with things like this, Activate Mains, where you can gain a card just by using Activate Main, not needing attacking, you can get that benefit turn 1 then, which is really, really nice. Those decks have a little bit more of a benefit than the ones that need to attack. And this is just look at top 5 cards. Any Black Saiyan with 6 costs or less. That's a big pool of cards, a big selection you can have, especially in Black decks now. You've got a lot of good Black Saiyan stuff. So that's so you should rarely miss off this. If you do, that's very unfortunate, but a very good effect. And you got the Awaken, so this one's nice. It's got a normal awakening and an alternative one, being when you land at 4 or less, or if you have 2 or more energy and you have a black My Future Z Battle card in play as the requirement, draw a card, switch on your energy active mode, and take your life down to 6, and then flip over. So this is nice because it's the mid range, is the in between kind of awaken. Draw one, untap one, and you also take your life down to 6 as well. Which taking your life down to 6 isn't the best, but still like 5 is the best because then you got token negate stuff like that. But it's still, you get a few extra cards off it. If your opponent's not like doesn't even try to attack you, that's you getting more cards as well. So then once we've awakened, flips over, we're now into Vegito, and it goes straight into SSB Vegito Shining Warrior. So now you're 15k and you're just one character, still just a mono black Saiyan, which or mono black Saiyan only leader, which is good. So you've got some of that old black Saiyan only leader support. You've got all that support. Like, it's always nice to have Saiyan leaders that are just Saiyans, because you get all that old support. And now you have 2 autos and activate main. So the first auto is once per turn. If you have a final Kamehameha in your battle area, as the requirement, when you activate a union skill, you draw 1 card. So that's a really cool skill. And so it means that once you get this card in your battle area, which looks to be the Z extra card, which we'll see in a little bit, anytime you union skill, once per turn, you draw a card. So that's an extra bit of draw, because then you got the second auto, which is once per turn when this card attacks, you draw 1 card. So you got a way to draw normally with the lead, that just requires you to attack with it, and you got another way where if you do something, you draw. So when you use the union skills, where like normally with union Patar, like sometimes with union Patar you do draw, sometimes you don't, but sometimes with union skill you don't draw a card. But this mitigates losing that card from hand by replacing it itself once per turn. That's quite cool. And then you got the activate main, which is once per turn. So that all these are skills once per turn, which is that's cool. Choose up to one of your Black Vegito cards, it gets 5k power for the turn. So you could use any Black Vegito card, even itself. That's the main thing. If you don't have a battle card with Vegito, you can always choose itself to make it 20k leader once per turn. And that's quite nice, because they don't want to make, I've mentioned, they don't want to make just normal leaders 20k, like unless there's like some massive hindrance, like we've seen, or using any Black Vegito, so any Union Batar cards, or any Union cards, and your lead, just so you always got a guaranteed something to target with this effect. So you should be always using this active main, and you've always got a target because you've always got your leader on board. So far that looks pretty good, and I see some of the Z deck stuff, because we'll start with Z deck and get to the main deck thing. So we got this. So first one we have SS Trunks Guide from the Future. So this is a 2 cost 15k that requires 2 Z energy. Has the flex, it's got nice protection from counter players, and then permanent, if you have a black My Future Z battle card in play, it gets an extra 5k power. Now it's quite like considering what it's got, just 2. It's cost 2 specific black, 2 Z energy, 15k. That's not overly impressive, especially when you have to have My out. But luckily, I imagine there's a way to cheat out for a little bit cheaper, like we've seen with a lot of the Star Deck stuff we've seen for since the Z decks come out. So for this one, it's activate main for 1 black. If your opponent has 2 or more energy as the cost, so your opponent needs to have hit there at least to turn 2 and pay 1 black. Then you play this card from under a My together with Trunks. Then play up to 1 of each Son Goku Vegeta cards, both black with energy cost of 1 from your deck in rest mode with the skills to get for the turn. So that's really nice. So just by paying 1 energy, you get to play this card from under a My. So that's like just then, because you'll still have My on the board as a 20k attacker, and then get out Goku and Vegeta in rest mode straight, so you can do Union Patara skills as well. That's really good. You get 3 cards for just the cost of 1 simple energy. But nice. So let's have a look and see what this My does to see how great this could be. So we got My together with Trunks. That's the one we had described in there. So it's a 1 cost 4k that requires 1 Z energy. It's got Barris, got protection, so it's got that. It's not going to be easily removed, and it's got a Z stack as well. So that's how you get the Trunks and My by Z stack Black Trunks Future battle card. And then it's got an activate main, so this one, the cost is if your leader is a black card with both Son Goku and Vegeta, or a Black Vegito card, you place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck, and you switch this card to rest mode. So, not too bad, so it only works with a specific leader. You need a bottom deck a card from your hand, and which is not too bad. You can put something back that you want in your deck, like say if you've got the Goku Vegeta, remember for the Trunks, put that straight to the bottom of your deck, so you definitely know you got at least half the targets in there. And he switches to rest mode, which makes it so it's open to attack, but then you might be able to defend it and in some easy ways. So that's the cost, and you add up to 1 Vegito card with entry cost of 6 or less from your deck to your hand and shuffle your deck. So if you've got Goku or Vegeta in your hand, you can always just use this effect to rest itself, put that Goku or Vegeta back to the bottom and grab a Vegito. So even though you bottom decking a card, you're getting a card back from it. And then setting up so you make sure you got one of the targets for Union Potara when you play the Trunks out underneath it. So that's pretty cool. And then we're going to the last of the Z deck cards, being the Z Extra, and that is Final Kamehameha. So this is the card we had specified on the leader that if you got this out and you use the Union skill, you then get to go ahead and, yeah, draw a card. And it's by Union skill as well, so that's not just Union Potara, but Union Fusion as well, or Union Absorb if there is, but I don't think there's any Unions or black stuff apart from the Black Boo, which I don't think works with this. But anyway, Final Kamehameha. It's a 1-cost Z extra card that requires 1 Z energy, and has only got 1 skill being activate battle, which is limit 1, so meaning you can only activate it once a turn across all copies of the card if you get multiple out. And this one is, if a battle card with an energy cost of 6 or more is attacking, you place 1 card from your Z energy in your drop, and you remove this card from the game as the cost. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards to send it to his owner's warp, then choose up to 1 card that is attacking, it gets 10k power for the battle. And then additionally, if you have 4 more energy, at the end of the battle, play up to 1 each of Son Goku and Vegeta cards, both black with an energy cost of 1 from your drop in rest mode with the skills to get for the turn. So that's pretty cool. You do because only when 6 costs or more is attacking, but you got play ways to make use of that. You've got to lose the energy, which is not that bad, and you lose this card, but then most of the Z extras we've seen, you got to use it and lose it. And then, yeah, you warp stuffing does it on a barrier, but that would be maybe a bit too buff. Well, that'd be a bit too good. But actually, no, it wouldn't be too bad, actually, having just barrier removal in the form of Z extra like this. Because it's very specific on when you have to use it, you have to use it in battle, but they give every deck that can play 6 drop, or 6 cost or more battle cards from, well, not battle, just 6 cards or more cards attacking, a bit more of, some barrier removal will probably help. So yeah, it could have been good, but because it's colorless as well as no specific cost, so you get the, yeah, as long as you're attacking with something big that's 6 cost or more, and you lose the Z energy in itself, you then warp anything, not ignoring barrier, then the attacking card gets the 10k boost, and then if you've got the targets for it and you have 4 more energy, you can play a Black Son Goku and Vegeta, and in this deck that gives you an extra way to another Union for the turn as well. So that's pretty good. But you're not going to use this until like you're going for game, because you want to keep this in the battle area, so that way you can always make sure you've got that extra draw from your leader when you Union, which is really cool. So that's the Z extra stuff done. Let's have a look at the battle cards and stuff that we got in the deck. The exclusive stuff, not the filler stuff that we also get in blueprints. So we got Son Goku, Help Has Arrived. This is a 1-cost 4k with 0-cost 5k combo. 2 autos, first one being if your leader is a black card with both Goku and Vegeta, or Black Vegito card as the cost. When this card is played, play up to 1 Vegeta Help Has Arrived from your deck or drop with its skills to get for the game, then shuffle your deck if you look for it. So playing this, and I imagine the Vegeta is going to be the same. If you play one of them, you then get to play the other one from the deck. So for 1 energy, you get the Union Potara on board, the materials you need. That's really good. And then the other also is add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, this card gets 6k power for the battle. It's a shame that it's for the battle, not for the turn, but I guess that would be a bit strong if you go and get that for the battle, because I mean Union Potara over it. Anytime a card anytime you play a card over enough by evolving Potara or anything like that, it keeps the power changes from the previous card. So if the card had a boost of like extra 5k and stuff, that goes over to the new card that's on top. And the same with the minuses. If the card's got 5k less power, that goes over to the next one. So it kind of makes sense. So it might be a bit too good if it's for the turn. Get an extra 6k, especially on something you drop on top of it. But it is what it is. And then we've got the Vegeta, and yep, as default, it's got the exact same skill. Just it's different, where like Goku gets Vegeta, Vegeta gets Goku. Nothing more to say, they're both the same, just different characters. And then we have the so you have a Vegito from the Star deck. This would be an SSB Vegito Beyond Shining, a 6-cost 20k with 0-cost 5k combo, and has Deflect as well. And its Union Potara is limit 1, meaning you can only Union Potara this card in once a turn. And it just needs to go on top of a Son Goku and Vegeta card that are both black. So it's got 2 skills, or 2 activate skills, both once per turn. First one being activate main, which is for 1 black. If you have a final Kamehameha in your battle areas, which is kind of active mode, so you can get 2 attacks out of this. So it's almost like dual attack, but you're paying 1 extra energy for this, which isn't too bad. And then you have the activate battle, which is once per turn. If your Black Vegito card is in a battle, could be just not itself. It could be any Black Vegito, it could be your leader, this card, or another one. That's the cost. Then you get to use up to one card from this card in the combo with its skills to get for the turn. So a free combo from underneath it, because you have 2 targets underneath it, so twice before, unless, well, yeah, it's got a maximum use of twice. Being able to use this activate battle once a turn to combo whenever a Black Vegito is just in battle. So offensively or defensively, which is really nice. So that's a pretty cool card, a really nice one for the starter deck. And as I said, there are some more that were brought in to support this starter deck in the main set, as we have seen with most of the starter decks, or at least most of like all the ones since at least Zenkai series. They've had 2 cards in the main set to support the cards. So let's have a look at the other ones we have for to support this deck from the main set. So first one is SSB Vegito Ultimate Battle. So this is another Unipatara target. So 20k, just like the other one, 6 cost, 20k and 0 cost 5k combo. Also has deflect, but this one has double strike. So also both have deflect. This one just now has double strike built in, instead of just dual tap to do 2 swings. And you also got Unipatara limit 1, but this one requires 1 black as well to go on top of the Son Goku card, and Vegeta card is both black. So the difference between this and that one so far is that this one has double strike, but also costs 1 black to Unipatara, and it's got different skills as well, being 2 autos, the second one requiring 1 black. So the first one is if you have a final Kamehameha in your battle area, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, set to zone's warp. So warp any of your opponent's battle cards, not ignoring barrier, but yeah, it's not ignoring, but you can't have everything not ignoring barrier. So that's nice. You can drop this, warp something off your opponent's board, as long as you don't have barrier, just get basically some free removal, whilst dropping a 20k double strike as well. And also remember, with the lead, you can give this extra 5k to make it 25k double. And then we've got the auto for 1 black. If you have 4 more energy and you place 2 cards from this card in your drop, when this card attacks, your opponent sends 1 card from their hand to the warp. So a bit of black hand control. And then this card gets 10k power for the turn and switches card to active mode at the end of the battle. So that's really cool. So if once you get a turn, this is a really good one for when you get a turn 4. You drop it, pay 1 to drop it down, get it down on the board, warp something. Use leader's effect to give it an extra 5k, then you swing with it, pay the extra black to place 2 cards from under this card in the drop to make him warp a card from hand and gain an extra 10k, so then 35k double, and switch it back to active mode so you can attack again the next turn for a turn after as well. And it keeps the power for the turn too, which is really good. That's a really nice one, this one. So let's look at the last card support, because remember, it only got 2 cards support in the main set directly for the deck, and that is another Vegito, being SSB Vegito All-Round Warrior. So same stats, but it's also got deflect, but this one has blocker, and then its Unipatara is limit 1. If your opponent has 2 more energy, Son Goku and Vegeta card both black. So a little bit of difference is they all have deflect, which is nice, so protection from counter plays. And this one has blockers, so kind of a nice bit of defense. And this one, same as the one that comes in the starter deck, having limit 1 of the Patara, but this one has a requirement of your opponent needing to have 2 or more energy before it can be dropped. So it's not just a drop as early as possible. This has a requirement of your opponent to at least hit 2 energy. Now, interesting enough as well, it also has a permanent where if you have a final Kamehameha in your battle area, this card will be removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd. Place 2 cards from this card in your drop instead. So it's got some protection as well, using the cards underneath it to keep it around, which is really cool. So your opponent can't just go choose it with a skill, remove it. You got a way to like bypass that and not worry about the first time it would be removed, or even KO as well. So you can again use the blocker. Then we have the auto, which is when this card is played, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards and choose a 5 or less, send it to the zone as warp. So once again, some nice removal built in, so when it plays, you get some removal with it as well. But this one has a bit more restrictive in it's got to be a 5 cost or less battle card, and also not ignoring barrier to warp. I mean, that's ignore barrier if it's got a cost to be so low of 5 or less, but it is what it is, and that's all I decided. But so far, that is, I think, no, actually, no, it's not so far. That is it. That is it for the starter deck. It looks really good, and big benefits is that it's a black Saiyan, so it gets all that old black Saiyan support. It's also got the good, like, black's been getting some good staples, really good cards over the last few sets, and also it's got a good solid core as well with it. Good, like, it's got quite simple plays, quite good costing to its effects as well. It looks to be a really good deck. I've already picked up the starter decks to play this. I just got to get some Ever Black Sable because I have to like rebuild up my collection to get back into the game. But on a scale for this deck, I would say on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being absolute trash and 5 being absolutely busted, I say this is a 4 as well, just like the food deck. It's a pretty strong deck because it's got all that old support from being a just mono black Sen only leader, and it looks like it's got some pretty strong plays as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing this because I do love my fusion characters. So I'm gonna go give it a go. Maybe even like play back in my webcam locals, trying to use this deck once I got all the pieces for it. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.